Audiobooks Tube is glad to produce, publish, and offer. Think Sharp, Developing Critical Thinking Habits by Sage D. Esotreasure. Have you ever felt swamped by intricate decisions or found it challenging to cut through the fog of life's obstacles? If so, the audiobook Think Sharp, Developing Critical Thinking Habits can be your roadmap to cultivating the essential habits required for sharp, effective critical thinking. By learning how to observe keenly, question profoundly, and decide confidently, you'll gain the ability to navigate life's complexities with grace, make better choices, and unlock your full potential. Don't allow muddled thinking to hinder your progress. Your journey to a clearer and more decisive future starts here. The human mind is an incredible instrument, capable of remarkable feats of reasoning, creativity, and problem-solving. However, many of us often fall short of realizing our mind's full potential. We can find ourselves stuck in rigid thought patterns, struggling to adapt to new challenges or faltering when faced with complex problems. But imagine if there was a way to unleash the full power of your mind, a way to develop a mindset that not only embraces challenges but thrives on them. This transformative journey into critical thinking begins not merely with a set of techniques or rules, but with a fundamental shift in how we perceive our cognitive abilities. At the heart of this transformation is the concept of a growth mindset, a notion popularized by psychologist Carol Dweck. It's a straightforward yet profound idea. Our abilities, including our capacity for critical thinking, are not fixed traits but skills that can be developed and refined through effort and practice. This stands in stark contrast to a fixed mindset, which assumes that our intellectual capabilities are innate and unchangeable. Adopting a growth mindset is akin to opening a door to a realm of possibilities. It empowers us to approach challenges not as threats to our perceived intelligence, but as opportunities for growth and learning. When faced with a difficult problem or a new concept that feels beyond our reach, we don't shy away. Instead, we lean in, seeing these moments as chances to stretch our mental muscles and expand our capacities. Consider how this shift in perspective can dramatically alter your approach to critical thinking. Rather than avoiding complex issues out of fear of failure, you might eagerly engage with them, fully aware that each attempt, whether successful or not, is a stepping stone toward greater mental acuity. The frustration of struggling to grasp a concept transforms from a discouraging setback into an exciting puzzle waiting to be solved. So, how do we begin to cultivate this growth mindset? The first step is awareness. Start paying attention to your internal dialogue when confronted with intellectual challenges. Do you often hear yourself saying things like, "I'm just not good at this kind of thinking," or "this is too complicated for me"? These thoughts are hallmark signs of a fixed mindset, and recognizing them is crucial for change. Next, practice reframing these thoughts. Instead of thinking, "I can't solve this problem," try saying, "I can't solve this problem yet." This simple addition of the word "yet" opens the door to future success and acknowledges that your current inability is temporary. This minor shift in language signifies a significant transformation in attitude. As you progress through this material, you'll encounter various strategies and techniques for critical thinking. Approach each of these with the understanding that improvement is possible, even if a particular method feels awkward or ineffective at first. Remember that mastery develops through practice. With each attempt, your brain is rewiring itself, forging new neural pathways that will make critical thinking more natural and effective over time. One of the most powerful aspects of adopting a growth mindset is how it influences our handling of setbacks. Mistakes and incorrect conclusions are part of the learning process, and with a fixed mindset, these failures can be devastating, seen as evidence of our intellectual limitations. Conversely, with a growth mindset, these setbacks become invaluable learning opportunities. Each error serves as a chance to refine our thinking, identify weaknesses in our reasoning, and emerge stronger and more capable. Embracing challenges is another essential component of the growth mindset. As you work through the concepts presented here, you'll likely come across ideas or exercises that push you beyond your comfort zone. Rather than shying away from these, lean into them. Remember, it's in moments of struggle that the most significant growth occurs. Your brain, much like a muscle, becomes stronger when subjected to stress. Persistence is vital on this journey. Critical thinking skills don't develop overnight. There will be moments when progress feels stagnant or when you doubt your improvement. This is precisely where the growth mindset shines. By maintaining the belief that you can and will improve with effort, you will push through these plateaus. Each time you persist in the face of difficulty, you're not just addressing the immediate challenge, you're enhancing your overall capacity for critical thought. As you cultivate this mindset, you might notice changes that extend beyond critical thinking. The growth mindset can influence other aspects of your life, making you more receptive to feedback, more willing to embrace challenges in personal and professional contexts, and more resilient when facing setbacks. The principles of the growth mindset, embracing challenges, persisting through obstacles, and viewing effort as the path to mastery, are universally applicable. By the time you finish this book, you should have a solid grasp of the principles behind the growth mindset and how they pertain to critical thinking. You'll start to catch yourself when you slip into fixed mindset patterns and will possess the tools to redirect your thoughts. More importantly, you will have begun to apply this mindset to the critical thinking challenges outlined in the subsequent chapters. However, this is just the beginning. The real power of the growth mindset unfolds over time. As you continue to practice and apply these principles, you will likely notice increased resilience when facing intellectual challenges. Problems that once appeared insurmountable will become intriguing puzzles to tackle. You'll become more willing to engage with complex ideas and more adept at navigating through them. Your critical thinking skills will show consistent improvement. This growth is not merely about accumulating knowledge, though that will happen, too, but about fundamentally changing how you approach thinking. You'll become more skilled at analyzing information, spotting logical fallacies, and constructing sound arguments. As you delve into the strategies and techniques introduced in later chapters, you'll find that the concepts you learn will become an integral part of your thought process. The transformation won't happen overnight, but with each passing day, your ability to think critically will sharpen. You'll be equipped not just to tackle the challenges in your life, but to thrive in the midst of complexity. Embrace this journey with enthusiasm. Every step you take toward adopting a growth mindset and enhancing your critical thinking skills is a step toward a more fulfilling, engaged, and effective life. As you sharpen your mind, you'll be better prepared to confront challenges, make informed decisions, and ultimately unlock the full potential that lies within you. Cultivating critical thinking skills is not a mere task to be checked off a list. It's an ongoing journey that transforms the way you engage with the world. At the heart of this journey is the growth mindset, a powerful engine that propels your continuous improvement. This mindset shifts your perspective, changing the narrative from a finite process into an exhilarating lifelong adventure filled with intellectual growth. As we wrap up this chapter, it's essential to grasp why establishing a growth mindset is the cornerstone for developing effective critical thinking habits. Without this shift in mindset, you might find yourself applying the techniques and strategies discussed in the following chapters half-heartedly or giving up when faced with challenges. With a firmly rooted growth mindset, however, each new concept becomes a gateway to growth, and every challenge represents an opportunity to broaden your capabilities. The structure of this book is intentionally designed to build upon this foundation, gradually introducing more complex critical thinking skills. By starting with the mindset shift, we ensure that you approach each new idea with curiosity and determination. This thoughtful sequencing encourages the incremental development and reinforcement of your skills, allowing you to build confidence and competence step by step. As you progress, remember that you are not simply learning about critical thinking. You are embarking on a transformative journey to reshape how you think about thinking itself. The path ahead is filled with intriguing discoveries and challenges that will encourage personal growth in ways you may not yet envision. Are you ready to observe the world anew, to look beyond the surface and unearth hidden truths? Before we delve deeper, make sure to subscribe to Grow to the Top and activate notifications for more self-improvement tips that can supercharge your personal growth. Don't forget to give this content a thumbs up and share it with friends. Your support helps the channel flourish. As we transition into the next chapter, let's consider the importance of observation. Have you ever wondered why some individuals seem to notice nuances that others completely overlook? How do outstanding detectives, scientists, or artists perceive details that elude the average observer? The answer isn't about possessing superhuman abilities, but rather cultivating a skill that can be refined, the art of close observation. This chapter will guide you through enhancing your critical thinking abilities by developing a keen eye for detail. But what does it mean to observe closely? It goes beyond mere looking. It involves truly seeing, hearing, and experiencing the world around you with heightened awareness. reflect on the last time you strolled down a familiar street. How much did you genuinely notice? The cracks in the sidewalk, the intricate architectural details, the subtle changes in the landscape? Unless you were actively paying attention, most of it likely passed by in a blur of familiarity. This tendency to overlook details is a natural byproduct of how our brains process information. We are constantly bombarded with sensory input, and our minds have evolved to filter out what it deems unnecessary. While this filtering is efficient for everyday functioning, it can pose a significant challenge when it comes to critical thinking. Observation is the foundation upon which all critical thinking rests. It serves as the first step in gathering accurate information about any situation, problem, or idea. Without careful observation, our subsequent analysis and conclusions are built on shaky ground. By honing our observational skills, we enhance our capacity to perceive and comprehend complex situations, laying a solid foundation for sharper thinking. Yet, observation encompasses more than just visual details. It engages all our senses and even extends to abstract concepts. It demands that we be fully present and attentive to the world around us, whether we are examining a physical object, listening to a lecture, or contemplating an idea. The power of perception lies in its ability to shape our understanding of reality. Two people can view the same situation and walk away with entirely different interpretations based on their observations. This variability highlights the importance of attentional focus, which is the cognitive process that allows us to concentrate on specific aspects of our environment while ignoring others. Think of it as a spotlight illuminating certain areas while leaving others in darkness. By understanding and controlling this focus, we can train our minds to notice details that might otherwise slip by unnoticed. Imagine finding yourself in a crowded room. At first, the noise may seem like a cacophony, but if you focus your attention, you can discern individual conversations, the clinking of glasses, or the hum of the air conditioning. This principle applies equally to visual observation and abstract thinking. Training the mind to notice details is a skill that improves with practice. It involves consciously directing your attention and resisting the brain's natural tendency to gloss over familiar or seemingly insignificant information. As you develop this skill, you'll uncover a wealth of previously unnoticed details in all aspects of your life. So, how can you enhance your observational skills? There are various techniques to sharpen your perceptual abilities. One effective method is active listening, which entails not just hearing words but fully engaging with the speaker. Pay attention to their tone, body language, and the context of their message. This type of listening requires an intention to understand rather than merely to respond. Another technique is visual scanning, which involves systematically examining a scene or object section by section rather than relying on a quick overall impression. Artists often employ this technique when drawing from life, but it's equally valuable in any situation where detailed observation is crucial. As you practice these techniques, you will transition from mere observation to genuine insight. This is where the real power of close observation and critical thinking becomes evident. By connecting your observations, you can begin to form hypotheses about the world around you. For example, you might notice that a colleague's usually tidy desk is now cluttered, they speak more rapidly than usual, and they frequently check their watch. By linking these observations, you may hypothesize that they are under unusual stress or time pressure. This insight, derived from careful observation, can guide your interactions and decision-making. However, it's essential to avoid jumping to premature conclusions based on limited observations. The goal is to gather as much information as possible before forming judgments. This is where the discipline of critical thinking comes into play, tempering our natural inclination to make snap assumptions. To truly develop the habit of effective observation, we must remain vigilant and committed to refining our skills, ensuring that our critical thinking abilities grow stronger with each experience. As we proceed through this journey, let us commit to cultivating these essential skills and embracing the growth mindset that fuels our progress. The road ahead is filled with opportunities for discovery and insight. Are you ready to take the first step? Careful observation plays a crucial role in how we interact with the world and make decisions. It's not just about what we see, but how deeply we perceive and understand the things happening around us. Observation, however, must be balanced with caution. Jumping to conclusions based on limited information can lead to flawed decisions. This is where the discipline of critical thinking becomes vital. It helps us slow down our natural tendency to make hasty assumptions and instead encourages us to gather as much information as possible before reaching any conclusions. To develop a habit of keen observation, it's essential to incorporate practical exercises into your daily routine. One such method is taking mindfulness walks. These walks involve focusing intently on your surroundings, using all your senses. What do you see, hear, smell, and feel? Are there details you've never noticed before, even in environments you're familiar with? These exercises can open up new dimensions of observation and awareness. Another effective tool is maintaining an observation journal. This is where you regularly write down detailed descriptions of objects, scenes, or experiences. The goal is to be as specific and nuanced as possible. Over time, this practice sharpens your ability to notice and recall details. Through these methods, your observational skills will improve, and you will find yourself more attuned to subtleties in your daily life. You may notice hidden cues in conversations or details in your environment that previously went unnoticed. As these skills improve, your ability to draw insights from your observations will also develop. Observation fuels sharp thinking by allowing you to connect seemingly unrelated details, leading to a more profound understanding of situations. In time, these insights become the building blocks of sharper, more sophisticated decision-making. With regular practice, your mind will become better at perceiving and interpreting complex information. At an advanced level, close observation becomes second nature. you will find yourself automatically noticing details that others might miss, giving you a significant advantage in problem solving, decision-making, and critical analysis. Yet, developing this skill comes with its challenges. In today's fast-paced world, with endless streams of distractions, it can be difficult to maintain focused attention. One of the most common pitfalls is overlooking essential details due to these distractions. The key to overcoming this challenge lies in consistent practice of focused observation techniques. By regularly tuning out distractions and engaging in deliberate, mindful observation, you train your brain to stay sharp. The aim isn't to notice every detail all the time. That would be exhausting and impractical. Instead, it's about developing the ability to focus your attention effectively when necessary. This makes your mind a more powerful tool for gathering and processing information. Imagine how this newfound skill of close observation might change your life. How would it impact your ability to understand complex situations, solve problems, or even just appreciate the beauty around you? The power of perception is immense. By honing this skill, you are equipping yourself with a fundamental tool for sharper thinking. But observation is just the starting point. When combined with other critical thinking techniques, it can become a truly transformative skill. For example, what happens when you combine sharp observation with the art of asking probing questions? This combination can revolutionize how you approach problems and seek solutions. It encourages deeper understanding and leads to more insightful conclusions. This brings us to the concept of asking why. Some individuals have an uncanny ability to uncover the core truth of a matter. It's not due to some supernatural insight or innate talent, it's because they've mastered the art of asking the right questions at the right time. This skill can be cultivated, and it begins with a simple three-letter word: why. Asking why helps peel back layers of complexity. It's a way to reveal truths that might otherwise remain hidden. Cultivating a mindset that consistently asks why can challenge assumptions and lead to deeper understanding. Think about the last time you accepted something at face value, whether it was a news headline, a colleague's explanation, or even your own beliefs. Did you pause to question it? Did you dig deeper to uncover underlying motivations or reasons? Often, we accept surface-level explanations because our brains are wired for efficiency. But doing so can limit our understanding and prevent us from discovering more meaningful insights. The power of why lies in its ability to encourage deeper analysis. By consistently asking why, you learn to look beyond the obvious and challenge your assumptions. This opens up new perspectives, making your thinking sharper and more comprehensive. In doing so, you train your mind to engage more deeply with the information in front of you. Asking why is crucial for critical thinking because it pushes us to go beyond mere acceptance of facts. It compels us to analyze their implications and interconnections. This deeper engagement helps us develop a clearer understanding of complex situations. Moreover, A questioning mindset protects us from accepting shallow answers in a world saturated with information. Many of the ideas we encounter are oversimplified or misleading. The ability to probe deeper allows us to distinguish between genuine understanding and surface-level familiarity. This is especially important in today's information-rich but knowledge-scarce world. The practice of asking probing questions is not new. It dates back to ancient Greece, where philosophers like Socrates used a method of inquiry known as the Socratic method. Socrates believed that true knowledge came not from accepting received wisdom but from questioning it rigorously. This method involved asking thoughtful questions to stimulate deeper thinking and clarify ideas. The principles behind the Socratic method are simple but profound. It starts with the acknowledgement that our understanding is incomplete and possibly flawed. From this place of humility, we engage in systematic questioning. Each question is designed to clarify concepts, challenge assumptions, and explore implications. When you apply this questioning technique in your everyday life, you not only sharpen your critical thinking skills but also become better equipped to tackle complex problems. It pushes you to think critically about the information you receive and helps you make better decisions. In essence, combining careful observation with the art of asking why allows you to uncover deeper truths and develop a more nuanced understanding of the world around you. As you integrate these techniques into your routine, you'll notice a significant improvement in your ability to process information, make decisions, and solve problems. Critical thinking is a powerful tool that can enhance every aspect of your life. By refining your observation skills and cultivating a questioning mindset, you can unlock a new level of understanding. These are the habits that fuel sharp thinking and provide the foundation for success in an increasingly complex world. Originating in ancient philosophical debates, the art of questioning has remained a cornerstone of critical thinking across various fields, from education to business to personal development. This skill isn't just about asking questions, but knowing which questions to ask, and more importantly, when and how to ask them. In education, questioning encourages students to think more deeply about subjects rather than just memorizing facts. In business, it's used during problem-solving sessions to uncover the root causes of issues. For personal growth, the practice of asking probing questions can lead to profound self-reflection and insight. To develop this questioning mindset, it's important to recognize that there are different types of probing questions, each serving a distinct purpose. Some questions are meant to seek clarification, like "What exactly do you mean by that?" Others challenge assumptions. Is that always the case? Some even probe the reasons and evidence behind an assertion, asking, "What makes you think that?" The key is to move beyond simple yes or no questions to those that encourage deeper reflection and analysis. For example, instead of asking, "Is this a good idea?" you might ask, "What criteria are we using to evaluate this idea?" Similarly, instead of "Do you agree?" a more insightful question would be, "What are the potential implications of this perspective?" timing and context are crucial when it comes to questioning. There's an art to knowing when to dig deeper and when to step back. In some situations, quick decision-making is necessary, and there's no time for extended analysis. In others, persistent questioning can be perceived as confrontational or disruptive. The skill lies in recognizing the right moments for deeper inquiry and framing questions in a way that fosters open dialogue rather than defensiveness. One particularly effective technique for uncovering root causes is known as the 5 whys. This method involves asking why repeatedly, typically 5 times, to move beyond surface-level explanations and get to the core of an issue. Each answer provides the basis for the next question, creating a chain of inquiry that leads to a deeper understanding. For instance, if you're trying to diagnose a complex problem, you might start by asking why it's happening. After receiving an answer, you would then ask why that particular cause is occurring. This process continues until you've peeled away the layers of the problem and identified its root cause. The 5 whys technique can be incredibly useful in revealing underlying factors that might not be immediately obvious. To internalize this questioning mindset, regular practice is essential. A practical exercise is to challenge yourself to ask why about common assumptions or everyday situations. Why do we follow certain social norms? Why are particular practices standard in your industry? By questioning the things we take for granted, we can uncover new insights and potentially identify opportunities for improvement or innovation. Another valuable practice is to engage in Socratic questioning during group discussions. Whether in formal settings like study groups or informal ones with friends or colleagues, take turns presenting ideas or opinions while others in the group ask probing questions. This technique not only sharpens your questioning skills but also exposes you to diverse perspectives and ways of thinking. As you develop this habit of asking probing questions, you'll notice a few significant changes. At the most basic level, you'll find yourself better able to ask relevant and insightful questions, enhancing your ability to gather information and understand complex situations. Over time, your overall analytical skills will improve, and you'll become more adept at breaking down complicated issues, identifying key factors, and synthesizing information from various sources. This heightened ability to analyze can be applied across many aspects of life, from professional problem-solving to personal decision-making. At its highest level, this questioning mindset can lead to a mastery of uncovering deeper truths. You'll develop an intuitive ability to cut through superficial explanations and get to the heart of the matter. This doesn't mean you'll always have all the answers, but you'll have the tools necessary to pursue a deeper understanding consistently. However, this skill is not without its challenges. One common pitfall is the tendency to ask irrelevant or superficial questions. It's easy to fall into the trap of asking questions just for the sake of it, without actually advancing your understanding. To avoid this, always focus on the context and relevance of your questions. Ask yourself, what am I trying to understand, and how does this question help me get there? Another potential issue is that persistent questioning can sometimes be perceived as confrontational or challenging, especially in certain cultural or professional settings. It's crucial to be mindful of these dynamics and to frame your questions in a way that is seen as constructive rather than combative. The goal should always be to foster open dialogue and a deeper understanding, not to put others on the defensive. As you incorporate questioning into your thinking, consider how this habit might transform your approach to problem solving. How might it change your interactions with others or your understanding of complex issues? Could it shift how you see the world around you? The power of questioning is immense, and by honing this skill, you're equipping yourself with a vital tool for sharper, more insightful thinking. Yet, questioning is only one piece of the puzzle. When combined with other critical thinking skills, such as keen observation, it can become even more powerful. For instance, what happens when we merge probing questions with sharp observation? This combination can change the way we perceive patterns and connections in the world around us. Observing patterns is another critical aspect of effective critical thinking. Have you ever been amazed by individuals who seem to have an almost supernatural ability to predict trends or solve complex problems? It can appear as though they have a special insight into the hidden connections that most of us overlook, allowing them to navigate the complexities of life with ease. The truth is, this ability isn't an innate gift, but rather a skill that can be developed and honed over time. The foundation of this skill lies at the intersection of observation, analysis, and prediction. Pattern recognition allows us to make sense of the vast sea of information that bombards us daily. Think back to the last time you encountered a complex problem or a large dataset. Did you feel overwhelmed by the sheer volume of information? Did you struggle to see how the various pieces fit together? This is where pattern analysis comes into play. At its core, pattern recognition helps us detect regularities and trends, whether in data, behavior, or other phenomena. Once recognized, these patterns offer a roadmap for making sense of the chaos. By combining this skill with probing questions and sharp observation, we become more adept at identifying underlying structures, making sense of complex systems, and ultimately, improving our ability to predict future outcomes. In today's fast-paced, data-driven world, the ability to recognize and analyze patterns is a critical skill for effective problem-solving and decision-making. Whether in business, science, or personal life, identifying regularities, trends, or relationships within seemingly unrelated information can provide a significant advantage. This skill, known as pattern recognition, is not just about identifying repeating elements but also understanding their implications, making connections, and anticipating future developments. At the core of this skill lies our brain's natural inclination toward identifying patterns, a fundamental mechanism that has evolved for survival. By detecting patterns, our minds can process information more efficiently, categorize experiences, and make decisions quickly. This has been crucial for survival over millennia. However, in today's world, where we are constantly faced with vast amounts of data, it's important to refine and deepen this natural ability to adapt to complex environments. The ability to recognize and analyze patterns enhances our overall analytical skills, trains us to look beyond surface-level data, and equips us with the tools to make more informed, strategic decisions. The importance of pattern recognition becomes evident when considering the complexity of our environments. Every day, we encounter large volumes of data, be it from financial markets, social media, or scientific research. To sift through this information effectively, one must be able to identify relevant trends and relationships. This not only allows for more innovative solutions to problems, but also provides the insight needed to predict future outcomes, giving us a competitive edge. But how do we improve our pattern recognition abilities? It starts with understanding the different types of patterns we may encounter. Temporal patterns involve sequences or trends over time, such as observing how stock prices change over days or months. Spatial patterns relate to the arrangement of objects or data points, such as recognizing clustering in geographical data. Logical patterns involve relationships between ideas or concepts, like identifying cause and effect chains in complex scenarios. Each type of pattern provides a different lens through which we can interpret the information around us. One effective way to sharpen these skills is through data visualization. Representing data through charts, graphs, or other visual aids can help reveal patterns that might otherwise remain hidden in raw data. For example, a scatter plot might show a correlation between two variables, or a line graph could indicate a trend over time. Visualization allows us to perceive information holistically, making it easier to spot regularities or anomalies. Another valuable technique is trend identification. This involves tracking consistent changes within a dataset over time to predict future behavior. For instance, by analyzing past sales data, a business might forecast future demand, allowing for better planning and resource allocation. By recognizing and analyzing trends, we can better understand the factors driving change and use this knowledge to make more accurate predictions about the future. However, it's essential to approach pattern analysis with caution. One of the most common pitfalls is overgeneralization, assuming that a pattern observed in one context will necessarily hold true in all situations. Just because two variables are correlated does not mean one causes the other. It's crucial to remember that patterns can sometimes be coincidental rather than meaningful. Always question the validity and significance of a pattern before making decisions based on it. To truly master pattern recognition, it's essential to incorporate regular practice into your daily routine. One way to do this is by analyzing datasets from various sources, whether it's financial data, scientific research, or even patterns in your own life. Challenge yourself to identify trends that aren't immediately obvious. Look for relationships between variables that might initially seem unrelated. The more you practice, the more attuned you'll become to spotting patterns in any given situation. Another practical exercise is creating mind maps to visualize the connections between ideas or data points. Start with a central idea or problem, and then branch out to related concepts. As you build your mind map, look for recurring themes, unexpected connections, or potential causal relationships. This technique can be especially helpful for identifying logical patterns in complex scenarios. As you continue practicing these techniques, you'll likely notice an improvement in your ability to recognize patterns. At first, you might become adept at identifying simple, obvious patterns. However, with time, you'll start to recognize more subtle, complex patterns and even use them to predict future outcomes. For example, you may start to notice a pattern in consumer behavior that could help you anticipate market trends or potential challenges in a business project. This predictive ability is incredibly valuable, whether you're solving problems, making strategic decisions, or planning for the future. At the highest level, pattern recognition allows for deep insights into complex systems. This goes beyond simply identifying patterns. It involves understanding their causes, implications, and broader context. At this stage, pattern recognition becomes a tool not just for analysis but for innovation and breakthrough thinking. By understanding the deeper connections between elements, you can generate novel solutions to problems or anticipate shifts in the market before they occur. Nevertheless, developing this skill comes with its challenges. One major obstacle is the risk of confirmation bias, our brain's natural tendency to seek out patterns that confirm our pre-existing beliefs. This can lead us to see connections where none actually exist or to ignore patterns that challenge our assumptions. To avoid this, it's crucial to approach pattern recognition with an open mind. Look for evidence that contradicts your initial interpretations, and actively seek out diverse perspectives and data sources. Remember, the goal is not to reinforce your existing beliefs but to uncover new insights. Another potential pitfall is becoming overly reliant on historical patterns. While past trends can provide valuable insights, it's essential to remember that circumstances change. What was true in the past may not hold in the future, especially in dynamic environments where new factors can disrupt established trends. Always consider the context when using patterns to predict future outcomes, and be prepared to adapt your thinking as new information emerges. As you develop your pattern recognition skills, think about how this newfound ability might change the way you approach problems. How might it enhance your capacity to understand complex situations, anticipate challenges, or identify opportunities that others might miss? By honing this skill, you're equipping yourself with a powerful tool for more effective, insightful thinking. In conclusion, pattern recognition is a critical component of sharp thinking, but it's just one piece of the puzzle. When combined with other critical thinking techniques, such as questioning assumptions and drawing on diverse data sources, it becomes even more potent. By developing your ability to recognize and analyze patterns, you're not only improving your problem-solving skills but also preparing yourself to thrive in a complex, ever-changing world. In the intricate web of decision-making and reasoning, there exists a subtle yet powerful force that shapes how we perceive, process, and act on information: cognitive biases. Often operating beneath the surface of our conscious awareness, these mental shortcuts can significantly influence our thought processes, leading us to conclusions that may not always be logical or accurate. Understanding and challenging these biases is key to sharpening our critical thinking skills and enhancing our decision-making abilities. Take a moment to reflect on a recent decision you've made. Did you carefully weigh all the evidence? Or did you find yourself leaning toward information that confirmed what you already believed while dismissing opposing viewpoints? If the latter sounds familiar, you're not alone. This common tendency to gravitate toward confirming evidence is known as confirmation bias, one of many cognitive biases that can distort our reasoning. Our brains, remarkable as they are, have evolved to manage vast amounts of information quickly and efficiently. However, this efficiency comes with trade-offs. To handle the overwhelming data we encounter daily, the brain uses heuristics, mental shortcuts that simplify decision-making. While these heuristics are often helpful, allowing us to make swift judgments, they can also lead us astray. The result is systematic errors in thinking, or cognitive biases, which can distort our perception of reality. Let's consider a few common types of cognitive biases that influence our thought processes. Confirmation bias, as mentioned earlier, leads us to focus on evidence that supports our beliefs while ignoring contradictory information. Then there's the availability heuristic, which causes us to overestimate the likelihood of events based on how easily they come to mind. For example, after hearing about a plane crash, we might overestimate the danger of flying, even though statistically, air travel is very safe. Anchoring bias is another influential force, where we rely too heavily on the first piece of information we receive when making decisions. This anchor skews our judgments about subsequent information. These biases affect every aspect of our lives, from the financial decisions we make to the way we evaluate risks and judge other people. Imagine a hiring manager who makes snap judgments about candidates based on the first impression, anchoring bias, or a consumer who sticks to a brand they know without considering better alternatives, confirmation bias. Left unchecked, these biases can lead to flawed decisions that have serious consequences, not just for individuals but for entire organizations and societies. The first step in overcoming these biases is developing self-awareness. Recognizing when and how biases influence our thinking can be challenging, as they are often ingrained in our mental processes. However, by regularly questioning our assumptions and decisions, we can start to uncover the biases that may be at play. For instance, the next time you form a strong opinion on a subject, ask yourself, am I considering all the evidence, or just the information that aligns with my beliefs? Could there be alternative explanations or perspectives that I'm overlooking? Another way to enhance self-awareness is to seek feedback from others. Often, those around us can spot our biases more easily than we can. By actively seeking diverse perspectives and being open to constructive criticism, we can gain valuable insights into our thought processes and identify potential blind spots. This practice not only helps in recognizing bias but also fosters a culture of open-mindedness and critical reflection. Once we've identified our biases, the next step is to develop strategies for overcoming them. One of the most effective ways to do this is by deliberately exposing ourselves to diverse perspectives. This means actively seeking out information that challenges our beliefs and opinions, rather than sticking to sources that reinforce them. Although this can be uncomfortable at first, it is essential for broadening our understanding and reducing the impact of bias on our thinking. Additionally, using structured decision-making processes can help mitigate the effects of cognitive bias. For example, employing decision matrices to evaluate options objectively, or using techniques like a pre-mortem, where you imagine that a decision has failed and work backward to identify potential pitfalls, can help reduce the influence of emotional or intuitive biases. These systematic approaches provide a framework for evaluating decisions based on facts and evidence rather than subjective preferences. To truly internalize these concepts and make bias awareness a habit, regular practice is essential. One practical exercise is to keep a bias journal, where you note instances throughout the day when you might have been influenced by a cognitive bias. Reflect on what the bias was, how it affected your thinking, and how you might approach similar situations differently in the future. This reflective practice encourages deeper self-awareness and helps reinforce strategies to counteract bias. Another valuable exercise is to engage in structured debates or discussions on topics where you hold strong opinions. The challenge here is to argue for the opposing viewpoint. This exercise forces you to see the strengths in arguments you may initially disagree with and recognize the weaknesses in your own position. By stepping into the shoes of an opposing perspective, you broaden your cognitive horizons and reduce the hold of bias. As you practice these techniques, you will likely begin to notice several key outcomes. At a basic level, you will become more aware of your own biases. This awareness alone is powerful, as it allows you to pause and reconsider your thought processes during critical moments. Over time, you will develop the ability to actively counteract biases in your decision-making. You'll find yourself naturally seeking out diverse viewpoints, questioning your assumptions, and approaching problems with a more balanced perspective. At the highest level of mastery, you may achieve a state of near-constant objectivity. This doesn't mean that you will be completely free from bias. After all, bias is a natural part of human cognition, but you will have developed such keen awareness that you can recognize and mitigate the effects of bias before they lead you astray. You will approach decision-making and problem-solving with clarity and precision, using evidence-based reasoning to guide your conclusions. However, it's important to remember that cognitive biases are deeply ingrained in our mental processes, and no one can be completely free from them. The goal is not to eliminate bias entirely, but to minimize its impact on our thinking. By developing self-awareness, seeking out diverse perspectives, and employing structured decision-making processes, we can significantly reduce the influence of cognitive bias and make more informed, rational decisions. In conclusion, challenging cognitive biases is an essential aspect of sharpening our critical thinking skills. By understanding how these biases operate and developing strategies to counteract them, we can enhance our ability to reason clearly and make sound decisions. As you continue to practice bias awareness and reflection, you will not only improve your own decision-making but also become a more insightful, open-minded individual capable of navigating the complexities of today's information-rich world with greater clarity and confidence. If you're enjoying this audiobook and finding value in the content, we kindly ask you to take a moment to subscribe to the channel. A large portion of our listeners and viewers haven't subscribed yet, and by doing so, you'll help us grow and continue bringing you more high-quality audiobooks. Your support means a lot to us, and it's just one click away. So, go ahead and hit that subscribe button to stay connected and never miss out on our latest releases. The ability to challenge bias is crucial in developing sharper critical thinking skills. In many situations, our biases subtly affect our thought processes, often without our awareness. One of the biggest pitfalls in this journey is overconfidence. As we become more familiar with cognitive biases, it's easy to fall into the trap of thinking that we are somehow immune to their influence. This sense of overconfidence can lead us to drop our guard, making us even more vulnerable to biased thinking. The solution to this is simple yet profound. Continuously seek feedback and expose ourselves to diverse perspectives, even when we feel most sure of our judgments. It's this openness to other viewpoints that helps us refine our thinking and guard against the creeping influence of overconfidence. Cognitive biases are not rare occurrences in our thinking. They are a fundamental part of how the brain processes information. As such, challenging these biases is not a one-off task, but an ongoing practice of reflection and adjustment. Cognitive biases affect how we consume information, form opinions, and interact with those who hold differing views. Recognizing this allows us to challenge bias regularly and refine our critical thinking to make better, more balanced decisions. Acknowledging and overcoming cognitive biases is just one aspect of honing critical thinking skills. As we progress, it becomes essential to combine this self-awareness with other cognitive strategies. This means expanding our mental horizons and enhancing our ability to consider alternatives in decision-making. Cognitive flexibility becomes the next step, enabling us to stretch our minds and approach problems from multiple angles, thus broadening our potential for discovering innovative solutions. Let's dive deeper into this critical tool for problem solving, considering alternatives. How often do we get stuck in the same thinking patterns? When faced with a problem, our brains tend to gravitate toward familiar, quick solutions, often latching onto the first idea that comes to mind. While this can be efficient, It limits our ability to discover more innovative and effective solutions. Instead of succumbing to this automatic response, we need to train ourselves to pause and explore different possibilities. Our brains are wired to prioritize efficiency, pushing us toward familiar solutions when faced with complex problems. While this tendency can be helpful in certain situations, it can also hinder our ability to solve problems effectively. The capacity to consider alternatives is a valuable skill that encourages cognitive flexibility and creativity. When we deliberately train our minds to explore multiple options, we enhance our adaptability and increase our chances of finding more innovative and effective solutions. Considering alternatives also helps us avoid tunnel vision, a common cognitive pitfall where we become so focused on one approach that we fail to see other, potentially better options. By cultivating the habit of exploring various possibilities, we can protect ourselves from this limitation and ensure that we are making decisions from a more comprehensive viewpoint. One of the key concepts in developing this skill is divergent thinking. Divergent thinking is the opposite of convergent thinking, which narrows down options to arrive at a single solution. Instead, divergent thinking encourages us to generate a wide range of potential ideas, opening up a broad spectrum of possibilities. This cognitive approach allows us to look beyond the obvious and immediate solutions, thus improving our chances of discovering innovative answers to complex problems. So, how can we apply divergent thinking in practice? One widely known technique is brainstorming. Brainstorming involves generating as many ideas as possible without judging or evaluating them initially. The idea is to create a safe space for free-flowing creativity, allowing even seemingly wild or unrealistic ideas to surface. Often, it is these unconventional ideas that lead to breakthrough solutions. Another effective strategy is lateral thinking, a concept popularized by Edward de Bono. Lateral thinking encourages us to approach problems from unexpected angles by challenging assumptions or introducing random elements into the thought process. For example, when solving a problem, you might ask, how would we approach this if we had unlimited resources, or what would the solution look like if we couldn't use any technology? These kinds of questions force us to think creatively and consider solutions we might otherwise overlook. While these techniques can be powerful, they represent only the beginning of the process. The real key to maximizing cognitive flexibility lies in making the consideration of alternatives a natural and consistent part of your problem-solving routine. This means training yourself to regularly ask, what other possibilities are there, whenever you face a problem or decision. Generating alternatives is only the first step. Once you have a range of options, the next challenge is evaluating and prioritizing them. This is where criteria-based assessment becomes invaluable. By establishing clear, objective criteria for what makes a good solution, you can systematically weigh each alternative's strengths and weaknesses. Balancing creativity and practicality is crucial in this process. While it's important to consider unconventional ideas, you also need to assess their feasibility and impact. However, this doesn't mean you should immediately discard ideas that seem impractical at first glance. Sometimes the most innovative solutions come from ideas that were initially viewed as outlandish. A crucial point in considering alternatives is remembering that generating a wide range of ideas doesn't automatically mean you'll find the perfect solution right away. It's an iterative process. You explore different avenues, evaluate them, and refine your approach based on the feedback and outcomes of your evaluation. This willingness to engage in a cyclical process of idea generation and evaluation is the hallmark of a skilled critical thinker. As you develop these skills, you'll notice that your decision-making process becomes more robust and nuanced. You'll start to see problems from multiple perspectives, which will help you make better, more informed decisions. You'll also find that considering alternatives reduces the likelihood of overconfidence, as you'll be less likely to latch onto the first solution you think of and more open to exploring different options. Finally, incorporating these techniques into your thinking allows for more effective problem solving in every aspect of life, from personal decisions to professional challenges. By training yourself to consider alternatives and evaluate them objectively, you'll foster a mindset that is both creative and practical. In the long run, this approach not only enhances your critical thinking but also improves your ability to navigate complex challenges with greater success. In conclusion, cognitive biases and limited thinking can significantly hinder our decision-making processes. However, by becoming aware of these biases and training ourselves to consider alternatives, we can greatly improve our critical thinking abilities. Through the practice of divergent thinking, brainstorming, and lateral thinking, we learn to approach problems from new angles, ultimately leading to more innovative and effective solutions. With continued practice, the habit of considering alternatives will become second nature, empowering us to make more informed and balanced decisions. In many situations, solutions that at first glance seem far-fetched or unrealistic often contain the seeds of innovation. The key to effective decision-making is not immediately dismissing these ideas, but carefully considering how each alternative could be implemented and what the consequences of those implementations might be. To truly develop the habit of considering alternatives, it's essential to engage in regular practice and challenge yourself to expand your thinking. A particularly effective exercise is group brainstorming, which invites diverse perspectives into the process. By gathering a group of people and presenting a common problem, the range and creativity of solutions that emerge are often surprising. The collective brainpower of diverse individuals fosters innovation, and by encouraging everyone to contribute ideas without judgment, you can explore alternatives that may not have been obvious at first. Another valuable method is scenario analysis. When faced with a decision, imagining multiple futures based on different choices helps anticipate possible outcomes and interactions between various factors. This process not only widens the range of possibilities but also improves your ability to foresee the potential consequences of your actions, allowing for better prepared decision-making. As you cultivate these practices, you'll begin to notice tangible results. For starters, you'll find that you're able to generate more solutions to problems more easily, which alone can be a game changer. Having multiple alternatives to choose from reduces the chances of overlooking a better solution. Over time, your ability to evaluate these options will improve as well. You'll become more adept at weighing the pros and cons of different alternatives, viewing each one from multiple angles. This ability to see the potential impact of each alternative fosters more nuanced, effective decision-making. At the highest level, mastery of this process allows you to consistently select the best options from a range of possibilities. This doesn't imply perfection in every decision, as our world is complex and unpredictable. However, developing a keen ability to generate and evaluate alternatives leads to choices that are more informed and consistently more effective than the average decision. This journey, however, comes with its challenges. One common pitfall is the tendency to overlook viable alternatives due to inherent biases. Even when we believe we're being open-minded, our preferences and preconceptions can influence which options we give serious consideration. This is where the practice of recognizing and challenging biases, something we explored earlier, becomes indispensable. Structured frameworks like decision matrices can help ensure that all alternatives are considered fairly. Tools like Edward de Bono's 6 Thinking Hats method encourage examining problems from multiple perspectives, making sure that our evaluation process is as unbiased as possible. Another challenge is the potential for decision paralysis. When we're faced with too many options, it's easy to become overwhelmed, leading to indecision or retreating to safer, familiar choices. It's important to remember that the goal isn't to consider every conceivable alternative. That would be impossible. Instead, aim to generate a manageable number of diverse, high-quality options. In this case, quality far outweighs quantity, as having too many alternatives can hinder rather than help. As you reflect on the practice of considering alternatives, think about how this approach might transform the way you solve problems, whether at work, in personal decisions, or in everyday discussions. Developing the ability to generate and evaluate multiple possibilities is an essential tool for improving critical thinking. This skill not only leads to more innovative and effective solutions, but also enhances the overall decision-making process. However, generating alternatives is just one part of the larger picture of critical thinking. As you progress, you'll discover how expansive thinking combines with other cognitive strategies. What happens when you combine your ability to generate alternatives with focused reflection on past decisions? How might that reshape the way you learn from experiences and further refine your decision-making process? Let's explore the transformative power of introspection and deep reflection, a technique that can significantly enhance your ability to think critically and make sound decisions. Have you ever wondered why some people seem to continuously improve their decision-making while others repeatedly make the same mistakes? Or why certain individuals seem to navigate complex situations with ease while others struggle? The difference doesn't lie in talent or luck, it's in the skill of reflection. Reflection, when used properly, uncovers hidden patterns in our thinking and allows us to grow from our experiences. While most people move on to the next task without a second thought, those who pause and take the time to reflect on their decisions gain valuable insights into their thought processes, strengths, and areas for improvement. Reflective practice is more than a casual look back, it's a structured, intentional process that examines our thoughts, actions, and their consequences. This practice not only deepens our self-awareness but also fosters continuous learning and improvement. The benefits of this process are immense, especially when it comes to critical thinking. Through reflection, we develop a clearer understanding of how and why we make certain decisions, and we can apply those lessons to future situations. Why is reflection so crucial for sharp thinking? The answer lies in its ability to foster self-awareness and encourage growth. When we reflect on our experiences, we begin to see patterns in our decision-making that might otherwise go unnoticed. These insights allow us to refine our thought processes, making us better at both solving problems and anticipating outcomes in the future. Each decision we make presents an opportunity for learning. However, without taking the time to reflect, those lessons remain buried, unnoticed, and unused. By developing the habit of deep reflection, we can extract valuable insights from our past experiences and apply them in future decision-making scenarios, continuously improving our abilities. The theory behind reflective practice has its roots in the work of educational theorists like David Kolb and philosopher Donald Shawne. They proposed that learning is a cyclical process, involving concrete experience, reflective observation, abstract conceptualization, and active experimentation. When applied to decision-making, this process allows us to move beyond the superficial aspects of a problem and engage in a deeper level of understanding, which ultimately improves our critical thinking skills. Through the practice of reflection, we learn to evaluate our past decisions, uncover hidden biases, and recognize patterns of thinking that influence our choices. This awareness enables us to make better decisions in the future by not only considering a wide range of alternatives but also applying the lessons learned from our previous experiences. In the end, combining the generation of alternatives with deep, reflective thought can dramatically enhance our overall decision-making process, empowering us to navigate even the most complex situations with clarity and confidence. Reflection, especially when integrated into our decision-making process, transforms raw experiences into invaluable knowledge. Models of reflection serve as useful frameworks, guiding us through this transformation by offering a structured approach to deep thinking. One well-known method is the what? So what? Now what? Model, which prompts you first to describe the situation, what happened, then to analyze its significance, so what, and finally to think about the future application of what you've learned, now what? Another widely used model is Gibbs' reflective cycle, which walks you through describing the situation, reflecting on your feelings, evaluating the experience, analyzing it, concluding, and finally planning future actions. Engaging in regular self-reflection brings numerous benefits. It can help you identify your strengths and weaknesses, better understand your motivations and biases, and recognize patterns in your behavior and thought processes. This heightened self-awareness inevitably leads to more informed decision-making, sharper problem-solving skills, and a deeper emotional intelligence that can help navigate complex personal and professional situations. One way to make reflection a regular part of life is by adopting the practice of journaling. Writing down thoughts, experiences, and insights regularly creates a personal log of your mental and emotional processes. Even dedicating just a few minutes daily can help yield significant benefits over time. It doesn't need to be an exhaustive process. The key is to ask probing questions like, why did I make that decision? What assumptions was I operating under? How did my emotions play a role? What could I have done differently? The act of writing helps clarify your thoughts and reveal hidden patterns that might not be immediately apparent through mere internal reflection. Another structured approach to implementing reflective habits involves setting aside dedicated time each week to review your experiences and decisions. You can either use a reflection model, like Gibbs, or what? So what? Now what? Or you could create your own set of prompts to guide your thinking. As this practice becomes routine, you'll begin to observe recurring patterns in how you make decisions. For instance, you might discover a tendency to rush decisions when stressed, or that you often disregard crucial information that contradicts your initial beliefs. Recognizing these patterns is vital because it empowers you to address them consciously in future scenarios. Reflection becomes even more powerful when you actively apply the insights gained to future decisions. This could mean setting personal or professional goals aimed at improving specific areas of weakness, or devising strategies to overcome obstacles that you've previously identified. By consistently incorporating these insights, you create a feedback loop where your reflection directly informs your future actions, fostering continuous improvement in your thinking and decision-making processes. Daily journaling is a highly effective technique to enhance reflective habits. Setting aside just a few minutes each day to reflect on your experiences, choices, and actions can build a substantial record over time. This provides a rich source of data about your thought processes and decision-making tendencies that you can revisit and learn from. Another valuable practice is participating in reflection circles, which involve group discussions where participants share their reflections, offering and receiving feedback from one another. Engaging in these collective sessions can offer new insights and perspectives that may not have emerged through individual reflection alone. As you develop your reflective skills, you'll begin to notice several benefits. At a fundamental level, you'll experience a heightened sense of self-awareness, gaining a clearer understanding of how you think, your strengths, and areas for improvement. This self-awareness is immensely valuable. It allows you to make more informed decisions and take more effective actions. With continued practice, you'll also become more adept at learning from both your successes and failures. This ability to extract valuable lessons from past experiences can accelerate your personal and professional growth. By applying these lessons to new situations, you can rapidly enhance your critical thinking and decision-making skills. At the highest level of reflective mastery, you'll consistently refine your thought processes. You'll develop such a keen ability to assess and learn from your experiences that your thinking will become progressively sharper and more effective over time. This doesn't mean that mistakes will never happen. No one is immune to errors. But it does mean that each mistake will offer an opportunity for growth and cognitive improvement. The path to mastering the art of deep reflection isn't without its difficulties. One common challenge is engaging in superficial reflection that doesn't yield actionable insights. It's easy to fall into the trap of simply recounting events without exploring their deeper significance or implications. To counter this, it's helpful to set specific goals for what you want to gain from your reflection. Are you trying to understand why certain decisions were made? Are you seeking to improve specific cognitive patterns? Having clear objectives ensures that your reflection is meaningful rather than surface level. Another challenge is making time for reflection, particularly in our fast-paced, often overwhelming lives. Reflection may seem like a luxury, especially when we're juggling multiple responsibilities. But it's crucial to remember that it isn't a separate task from our work or life. It's an integral part of how we learn and grow. Even dedicating just a few minutes to focused reflection each day can make a significant difference over time. Incorporating reflective practices into your routine can fundamentally change how you approach learning and decision-making. How might it impact the way you process experiences, make choices, or tackle challenges? The ability to reflect deeply is a powerful tool that can enhance critical thinking and lead to continuous personal and professional growth. But reflection is just one part of the broader framework for developing sharp critical thinking skills. Moving forward, you'll see how reflection complements other cognitive strategies. What happens when we combine the power of deep reflection with the confidence to act decisively? How might this shift our approach to complex problems or high-stakes decisions? Balancing thought and action is key to mastering critical thinking. It's not just about careful deliberation, it's also about knowing when and how to move forward with confidence. The journey ahead involves discovering how reflection and decisive action together shape the way we handle challenges and opportunities in both personal and professional spheres. Navigating the landscape of decision-making can be challenging, especially when faced with the pressures of time and uncertainty. Many of us can relate to moments of indecision, caught in a cycle of endless analysis, afraid to take that final leap toward action. Conversely, we might find ourselves making hasty choices, only to reflect later on what we might have missed. These scenarios underscore a fundamental aspect of critical thinking, the ability to act decisively. Decisive action is not merely about choosing a direction, it is a skill that bridges the gap between thoughtful consideration and purposeful execution. This skill allows us to tackle problems effectively and make decisions that we can stand behind. More than that, it cultivates a mindset that empowers us to approach complex situations with clarity and confidence. Think back to a significant decision you faced recently. What was your thought process? Did you find yourself analyzing every detail, paralyzed by the possibilities? Or perhaps you jumped in too quickly, only to realize later that you hadn't considered all the implications. If either scenario resonates with you, know that you're not alone. Many people wrestle with striking the right balance between thoughtful consideration and prompt decision-making. Confident decision-making is not just a beneficial skill, it is essential for effective critical thinking. When we believe in our capacity to make sound choices, we tend to act with conviction, seeing our decisions through to fruition. Moreover, making decisions with confidence can help us avoid the paralysis that often accompanies indecision. In a fast-paced world that frequently demands quick responses, the ability to make timely and well-reasoned choices is invaluable. It enables us to seize opportunities, respond adeptly to challenges, and navigate intricate situations more effectively. So, how can we cultivate this ability? The answer lies in understanding and applying principles from decision-making theory. This area of study emphasizes finding a delicate balance between thorough analysis and actionable steps. On one end, we face the risk of overthinking, often referred to as analysis paralysis. This happens when we become so immersed in gathering information and weighing options that we struggle to make a decision. On the other end, there's the danger of impulsive decision-making, where choices are made hastily without adequate consideration. While quick decisions can be crucial in emergencies, consistently rushing into choices can lead to unfavorable outcomes and missed opportunities. The objective, then, is to identify a sweet spot between these two extremes. We want to engage in sufficient analysis to make informed decisions while avoiding the trap of becoming bogged down in indecision. The key is to act decisively, but not impulsively. One effective method for achieving this balance is to use structured decision-making techniques. These approaches provide a framework for organizing our thoughts and evaluating options systematically. For example, a decision matrix involves listing options alongside criteria for evaluation. By scoring each option against each criterion, we can objectively compare our choices, ultimately leading to a more informed decision. Another simple yet powerful technique is the pros and cons analysis. This method encourages us to explicitly consider the positive and negative aspects of each option, which helps prevent us from overlooking critical factors. This balanced approach can lead to more thoughtful decision-making. However, utilizing these tools is only part of the solution. To genuinely cultivate confident decision-making, we must also build trust in our processes. This doesn't imply that we should believe every choice we make will be flawless. Rather, it means having faith in our capacity to make rational choices and learn from the outcomes. Building this trust involves recognizing that decision-making is a skill that improves with practice. Each decision provides an opportunity to refine our approach. Reflecting on our decisions, whether successful or not, can yield valuable insights that shape our future choices. It's also important to remember that confidence in decision-making does not equate to always being right. It means committing to a chosen course of action based on the best available information while remaining open to revising our approach as new information emerges. To develop the habit of confident decision-making, regular practice is essential. One effective exercise involves role-playing decision scenarios. This means imagining or simulating complex decision-making situations and working through them as though they were real. Practicing in a low-stakes environment allows us to refine our skills without the pressure of real-world consequences. Participating in decision-making workshops can also be a valuable experience. These group sessions create opportunities to collaborate on decision-making exercises, share different perspectives, and learn from others' strategies. This collective approach can unveil new insights and methodologies that you might not have considered independently. As you hone your skills in confident decision-making, you'll likely notice several benefits. At a foundational level, your confidence in everyday decisions will increase. You may find yourself less inclined to second-guess your choices and more capable of moving forward with conviction. With consistent practice, you will enhance your ability to make well-reasoned decisions, even under pressure. This skill set will serve you well in both personal and professional contexts. As you reach higher levels of mastery, you may discover a remarkable ability to balance analysis and action effectively. Your capacity to gather and process information, weigh options, and act decisively will make your decision-making both efficient and effective. This doesn't mean you will never encounter difficult decisions or occasionally make mistakes. These are natural aspects of being human. However, it does mean you will approach decision-making with a level of skill and assurance that sets you apart. Despite the journey toward mastering confident decision-making, challenges remain. One significant pitfall is the risk of overconfidence. As you grow more comfortable with your decision-making skills, it's easy to slip into the belief that you are infallible. This mindset can lead to rushed decisions or neglect of critical factors. To counter this tendency, it's essential to regularly review and adjust your decision-making processes. Periodically reassessing your approaches will help you stay grounded and maintain a balanced perspective. Ultimately, the art of confident decision-making intertwines with critical thinking and problem-solving. It empowers you to make decisions that are not only timely but also informed. By cultivating this skill, you can navigate complex situations with greater ease, leading to improved outcomes and personal growth. Making decisions can often feel like navigating a labyrinth. Whether we are facing the pressures of personal choices or professional dilemmas, the complexity and uncertainty inherent in decision-making can provoke anxiety and doubt. To combat this, we must cultivate a practice that empowers us to approach challenges with confidence and clarity. This involves utilizing various decision-making methods, gathering feedback from peers, and reflecting on our choices to learn from our successes and failures. By embracing a mindset of continuous improvement, we can maximize the benefits of confident decision-making while also guarding against its potential pitfalls. One of the challenges we frequently encounter is managing the emotional aspects of decision-making. Even when we employ structured methods, uncertainty and risk can evoke feelings of anxiety and stress. Learning to navigate these emotional responses is a vital component of developing robust decision-making skills. As we work to enhance our ability to make confident choices, it's important to consider how this practice might reshape our approach to the various challenges and opportunities we encounter. Picture how your decision-making processes could evolve. How would your ability to tackle complex problems change? How would you respond to unexpected situations? The capacity to make decisions with confidence is a powerful tool that can significantly enhance your effectiveness across all areas of life. However, it's crucial to recognize that confident decision-making is merely one aspect of a broader framework of critical thinking skills. As we move forward, we will explore how this decisive mindset interacts with other cognitive strategies. By integrating confident decision-making into a holistic approach to thinking and living, we can transform our navigation of life's complexities and further our aspirations. The culmination of our journey lies in understanding how to live critically. This concept goes beyond simply applying various strategies and techniques for sharpening our critical thinking skills. It involves adopting a mindset that enables us to traverse the complexities of our world with greater clarity, purpose, and effectiveness. Living critically means making critical thinking an integral part of our identity, shaping how we approach challenges and decisions. Reflect for a moment on your prior methods of tackling obstacles and decisions before engaging with this material. Now, envision a version of yourself that has fully integrated critical thinking skills into every facet of life. How would that version of you approach problems? How would you interact with others? How would you pursue your goals? The journey we've taken together is not merely about learning new techniques, it's about empowering you to evolve into that version of yourself, someone who can confidently navigate complex situations and make informed decisions in any context. This transformation manifests significantly as an increased sense of confidence in dealing with intricate issues. Consider situations that once seemed overwhelming, filled with multifaceted challenges. Now equipped with a diverse toolkit of strategies, you can approach these problems systematically. You can observe closely, ask insightful questions, analyze patterns, challenge biases, reflect deeply, and decide with assurance. This comprehensive method allows you to break down even the most daunting situations into manageable parts. Moreover, your enhanced decision-making abilities will serve you well in all areas of life, from career choices to personal dilemmas. You now possess the skills to gather relevant information, analyze it critically, and arrive at well-reasoned conclusions. This doesn't mean you'll always make perfect decisions. Nobody does. But you will be able to approach decision-making with greater clarity and confidence. The benefits of critical thinking extend beyond mere problem-solving. They also enrich our interpersonal relationships. By employing critical listening skills, truly hearing what others are communicating, analyzing their perspectives, and asking thought-provoking questions, you can enhance your communication. This practice leads to deeper understanding, fewer misunderstandings, and more meaningful connections. Furthermore, the self-awareness and empathy cultivated through critical thinking enable more compassionate interactions. By acknowledging your biases and considering alternative viewpoints, you equip yourself to better understand and appreciate the perspectives of others, even when they differ from your own. This ability fosters improved relationships both personally and professionally. As you integrate critical thinking into your everyday life, you will likely find yourself achieving goals that once felt unattainable. Complex problems that used to paralyze you now become intriguing puzzles ripe for resolution. You can approach these challenges with a clear mind, breaking them down into manageable components and tackling each aspect methodically. The clarity of thought gained through critical thinking also translates into enhanced leadership abilities. Whether you are leading a team at work, guiding a community initiative, or simply steering your own life direction, your critical thinking skills will empower you to lead with confidence and insight. You will be able to analyze situations comprehensively, make sound decisions, and effectively communicate your vision to others. One of the most rewarding aspects of adopting critical thinking as a lifestyle is the ease and naturalness it develops over time. As you continue to practice the concepts presented, you will find that critical thinking becomes second nature. What once required conscious effort will become an automatic part of how you process information and confront challenges. This does not mean you will cease to learn or improve. Rather, as critical thinking becomes ingrained in your cognitive processes, you will find yourself tackling increasingly complex issues with greater ease. Your efficiency will increase, allowing you to achieve more while expending less mental energy on the basics of critical analysis. This creates a virtuous cycle of growth and accomplishment. As your critical thinking skills sharpen, you will become increasingly effective in your endeavors. This success reinforces the value of critical thinking, motivating you to apply these skills even more consistently. Over time, you will notice yourself achieving more with enhanced efficiency across all areas of your life. Perhaps the most profound impact of living critically is the sense of clarity and purpose it imparts to your life. In a world that often feels chaotic and overwhelming, critical thinking offers a reliable framework for navigating the complexities around you. It allows you to approach life's challenges with confidence and insight, enabling you to pursue your goals with renewed vigor. Embracing a lifestyle of critical thinking transforms not only how you tackle problems, but also how you relate to yourself and others. The journey toward confident decision-making and comprehensive thinking equips you with the tools to navigate life's complexities with clarity and effectiveness. With practice and dedication, you can cultivate a mindset that empowers you to live critically and achieve your aspirations. Navigating the complexities of life requires a clear and focused mindset. Critical thinking enables you to sift through the noise, honing in on what truly matters while ensuring that your decisions align with your core values and aspirations. This clarity not only illuminates the external world but also deepens your understanding of yourself. Through practices such as self-reflection and challenging your biases, you can gain profound insights into your own thoughts, motivations, and behaviors. This self-awareness serves as a bedrock for personal growth and fulfillment. As we draw this exploration to a close, it's vital to envision the possibilities that arise when you fully embrace critical thinking as an integral part of your life. Imagine waking each day with a refreshed mind, prepared to confront whatever challenges may arise. Instead of succumbing to anxiety, you approach problems with a sense of curiosity and confidence. Your interactions with others are marked by openness and understanding, rather than judgment or defensiveness. In your professional realm, you become known for your insightful contributions and sound decision-making. You begin to perceive connections and opportunities that others might overlook, leading to innovative solutions and consistent career progression. In your personal life, relationships flourish through deep understanding and meaningful communication. You recognize that perfection is unattainable. Everyone makes mistakes, but you have the tools to learn and grow from every experience. Setbacks transform into opportunities for reflection and improvement, while successes are carefully analyzed for lessons applicable to future endeavors. Perhaps most importantly, you cultivate a sense of agency in your life. Instead of feeling tossed around by external circumstances, you navigate life's intricacies with a sense of purpose and direction. You are not merely reacting to what happens around you. Instead, you actively shape your path forward. This is the essence of living critically. It's not merely about improving your thinking, it's about enhancing your entire way of life. It involves approaching each day with clarity, purpose, and effectiveness, ultimately allowing you to become the best version of yourself while positively influencing those around you. As you finish this book, keep in mind that this moment marks not the conclusion of your journey, but the beginning of a new chapter. The skills and strategies you have explored are tools for personal and professional development. Like any tool, their effectiveness grows with practice. It's important to continue applying critical thinking in your daily life and actively seek opportunities to hone these skills. Reflect on your experiences and persistently refine your approach. The journey of critical thinking is one of perpetual growth and discovery. Every day brings new opportunities to observe, question, analyze, and decide. Embrace these moments, allow your curiosity to propel you toward deeper understanding, and let your critical faculties lead you to improved decisions. Within you lies the potential for extraordinary growth and achievement. The critical thinking skills you've cultivated are vital keys for unlocking this potential. Use these tools wisely and frequently, and you will witness transformations not just in your thought processes, but in your overall way of living. As the saying goes, the journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. You have already taken that step, empowered by the principles of critical thinking. Now it's time to confidently stride into the future you envision for yourself. The world is undoubtedly complex, rife with challenges and abundant opportunities. With your sharpened mind and critical approach, you are well equipped to confront it head-on. So go forth and embrace a life grounded in critical thinking. Your journey toward a sharper, more fulfilling existence has only just begun. As you embark on this new phase, you may encounter unexpected challenges, situations where emotions run high and clear thinking feels out of reach. How can you maintain your critical faculties when the stakes seem elevated? The answer lies in mastering a crucial skill set that enables you to fully leverage critical thinking in every aspect of your life. To discover essential techniques that will support your journey, consider exploring resources like the audiobook Stay Calm, Think Smart, The Art of Critical Thinking in Difficult Situations. Such materials can provide you with invaluable insights and strategies for maintaining your composure and clarity when faced with high-pressure scenarios. Ultimately, embracing a critical thinking mindset is a lifelong commitment, one that requires constant practice and reflection. As you hone these skills, remember to stay open to new experiences and perspectives. By continually engaging with the world around you and applying the principles of critical thinking, you will not only enhance your decision-making abilities but also enrich your relationships and overall quality of life. In summary, the path of critical thinking offers an array of benefits, from improved problem-solving skills to enhanced interpersonal connections. By fostering self-awareness and embracing continuous learning, you position yourself for success in both your personal and professional endeavors. The journey may have its challenges, but with each step, you will uncover new layers of insight and understanding, paving the way for a more meaningful and fulfilling life. Copyright 2024 by Audiobooks Tube. Thank you for listening. Please consider to subscribe, like, and share to help the channel grow new videos on a daily basis.